Okay, yeah, I think that'll work. Yes, here we are, everybody. Welcome to The Varied Life again. Hobby projects, things, and what is this thing right here? Is it a nuclear reactor, a bomb? Is it terrain for tabletop games? No, it isn't. But we're going to print out a bunch of these, and this is what we're talking about. This is the printing the Army Painter dropper bottle tops. Say that 10 times fast. Basically, what we end up doing is we're going to take a look at some dropper bottle tops. In other words, if you have some Army Painter paints, as we see here, we can kind of see the bottles here, and they don't have the colors painted in. You could do that, but with these bottle tops, what you could end up doing is painting these different bottle tops here to see the color and the hue, and it's easier to kind of say, hey, I need this color. Instead of scanning and looking at the bottle, you can have some cool bottle tops. So you can have from orcs and Christmas trees, you could have like Star Trek, you could have some wild looking things. But basically what I ended up settling on is this right here. And we're gonna print out a bunch of them. 65 to be exact, and we'll take a look here. Yeah, there's 65 of these that I can load up on the build plate of my Saturn III Ultra. So since we replaced the ACS film and we did some test prints, as you can see here, they turned out pretty good. We're going to go the next step and we're going to do 65 of these to put a bottle top on the tops of the bottles of my Army Painter set and paint them with the color of the paint that's in the bottle to, I don't know, just kind of look cool. I want to print some stuff. So anyway, we look down here in the bottom. We can actually see some information here. And we're going to print it with the Jam Heat 10K water washable resin. And it should take about an hour and 40 minutes. And the resin is probably about, 48 milliliters. Wow, that is not much at all. And that's including the support. And for the life of me, I can't find where I bought it from. I know I bought it. I know it was like a couple of bucks, and then just, copied them and made as many as I could that would fit onto the build plate here. And yeah, that's what we're going to try to print. So in about an hour and 45 minutes, we should have our bottle tops. And then after that, we're going to wash them all in our ultrasonic cleaner to get them all nice and clean and pristine. And then we'll cure them, and then we'll see how they fit onto the bottle tops. I'm wondering, should I just print one, or should I just throw caution to the wind and print 65 and hopefully that they all fit? The reasonable person would print one, but sometimes I'm not reasonable. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to print all 65, and it's only 48.68 milliliters. I think I can handle that. But let's go ahead and do this. So we've already loaded it up onto our USB stick. So now the next step is to take this to the Saturn III Ultra, plug her in, and print away. Okay, so here we are. We're going to print those 65 bottle tops on the Saturn III Ultra in about an hour and 40 minutes. We'll find out if it printed. So let's get started. And print. Let the games begin. Oh, an hour and 31 minutes and 7 seconds instead of like an hour 40. So I will take that, and what we'll end up doing is we'll take off the build plate and see how well this looks. Dang, some of them didn't make it. Why? That is interesting. What is that? I wonder if it left any... Yeah, I feel stuff on the FEP down there. 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 of them down there. So maybe my leveling is a little bit off. That is like crazy watery. So there you see it. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those didn't print. But it looks like the other ones did. But yeah, the support's all printed, but that's just odd that we didn't get anything on that side, on that right side. So yeah, what we can end up doing, yeah, those things are just barely, these were just barely hanging on. And there's a lot of, still some resin in there, but yeah, that's basically what the cap looks like. And it was barely holding on. But yeah, you can see, I mean, just think, it just feels like there's maybe one or two supports hanging on there. These are a lot better. So that we got some more supports. It seems like the two that were here were like they're only held on like maybe one or two supports. But these, oh yeah, that's a lot more. Same thing. But oh yeah, it's some of them it looks like they're not even connected. And I'm going to show you this so you can see some of those aren't even connected. So yeah, it's just like really, really delicate. Some of those aren't even connected. You can see that there, just let go. Yeah, it's like barely on there. See how all those are connected? Yeah, and compared to the ones that were over here, watch this one. All of those were connected. So yeah, these are great. Look at that. Those come off. Those are super supported. They're nice. That one was a little weak. That was weak. Ooh, that was barely hanging on. What about this one? Yeah, that was barely hanging on as well. So this makes me wonder if the build plate is totally level. Now that's good. Those are all solid, and that's good, and that's good, and that's good as well. Okay, so there you have it. An interesting conundrum that we end up having, especially on this side of the build plate where those four didn't even print, but we do have some nubs that I can feel on inside the vat for those four. And these here and this row were just barely hanging on. And then of course by the time we got to the third row and these got a lot better. And then on this last row, yeah, we had some that were barely hanging on. So there might be something. I think I need to get a straight edge and to see a square to see how square this actually is. So anyway, that's what we got there. So now what we're going to end up doing is we'll throw these into the ultrasonic cleaner, clean those up, and go on to the next step. Alrighty. It's in. That's good to go there. To cleaning. So let's go ahead and we'll do this for 5 minutes. The good thing is my Army painter set has 50 paints, so I'll still end up with some extras. Now we got two different bottles. I have the original Army painter bottle here, which I just painted that, and then we have an aftermarket bottle that I bought for my Citadel colors. Obviously, I don't think this is going to fit because that's going to be way too big. So those are out of the running. But with the Army painter, look at that. Fits like a champ. So yeah, that'll work out well. Let's see if I have a glass jar. We'll just do like 4 with the water. Since these are clean, we'll put them in a glass container of water, and then the rest of these we'll just kind of put on the build plate or the cure plate. Small print, so maybe about what, a minute 30. And let's see how it goes in case you wonder if we got a bunch of mirrors in there. Maximize the UV. So now we can see this thing go.
Few moments later.
4, 3, 2, 1. And boom. So, this is interesting. Those came out kind of good. Still got a little, see there's a little damp in there, but not dead. So now the question is, with these, because from what I've read so far, you do water curing and you do it for half the time that you would normally do it. So since these are like just a minute 30, I think that would be good enough. And there it is. I can't honestly tell a difference, but it's supposed to help retard the oxygen that interferes with the curing, oxygen and UV light that cause some degradation, but honestly I don't know if that's 100% true. Some people swear by it. So we printed out of the 65 bottle tops, so I would consider that an A, not an A+, which would be 100% of everything, and we did have some deformations, missing little legs on here. So I'll just give myself an A for that. The water curing, I'm not sure how that works or not, but we'll do a close-up compare, and if I see any differences, I'll record it and let you know. But basically, the next step is to take these and paint them white, and then we'll paint the colors of each of the bottles and put those on there, glue them on, and we'll be good to go. The more concerning thing is with the Saturn III Ultra is obviously there is a leveling problem. So as we saw on this side of the build plate, that those were barely hanging on by maybe 2 or 3 supports, and it ended up that they just basically fell off. You could breathe hard and those would have fell off, but as we got closer to the center of the plate, we had more supports onto those prints, and as we got to the far side, on this side of the build plate, what I noticed that there was a little bit of ease where some of the other supports weren't attached as well. Not as bad as the side over here, but yeah, very interesting. So definitely I need to re-level the plate on here on the Saturn III Ultra, and I need to get a square to see if the build plate itself is actually level. So yeah, I got to find one of those and re-level. And I will say, when I originally leveled this, I had a lot of problems of trying to get pressure, because as I would pull that sheet of paper on each corner, it was this side that was always giving me problems, specifically that back side, that back corner. So anyway, yeah, now that that's done, let's go ahead and we'll airbrush and paint this up and take it from there. Okay, so what we ended up doing, I just want to make another little addendum here. These are the 4 that did not print, and ended up emptying out the vat, filtering it to make sure that we didn't get any particles. And is that gonna come off? Come on. There we go. So definitely get those out. And that's a good reason that if you ever have any failed prints where there's just supports and no item, yeah, you might want to be careful and empty your vat and filter everything and do a cleansing. So the clean vat function is definitely something you should do. Okay, so now that that is done, yeah, we'll go on and do some painting, but actually in the next video, we're going to do a continuation where we're going to look at the leveling and how I experienced a problem with my Saturn III Ultra with leveling. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to stay up to date with what's going on with us. The Varied Life is we're retired in Korea. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.